He wanted to know whether he had a valid medical malpractice case. He was on the phone with me and I asked him, "Do you have a physical injury?" He said, "Yes, I have a horrible physical injury." Come join me as I share with you why his answer told me immediately that I couldn't help him. You want to know the answer? You want to know what he said? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. So now he called me on the phone. He said, "Listen, I had a set of problems. I had some issues. I need to know whether I can go ahead and sue the doctor and the hospital." So now I began to ask him a series of questions. First, did this happen to you or a family member? He told me it happened to him. I said, "Where did this happen?" And now he told me the name of this hospital. I said, "When did this happen?" I need to know whether or not this matter is timely. And it was timely. I then said, "What physical injury did you suffer as a result of whatever was done wrong?" He said, "Oh, they messed up my head. They messed," and I'm thinking, "You mean a head injury? Trauma to your head?" He said, "No, psychological, emotional damages." I said, "Wait a second. I asked you whether you had any physical injury." And he said, "What do you mean?" I'm thinking, okay, there's a clear difference between a physical injury and a psychological or emotional injury. Emotional is psychological, in your mind. Clearly, it can affect you. It can affect you many different ways. But I want to know, do you have any fractures? Do you have any issues? Do you have any damage to your physical person, to your being? I'm not talking about mental matters. I'm not talking about mental issues, psychological or emotional issues. I'm talking about physical injury, physical damage, trauma to your body, injury that requires further medical treatment, that requires surgery, that requires orthopedic fixing, anything that requires some type of medical treatment that is of a physical nature, not mental. And he said to me, "Oh, no, I don't have any problems, any physical damage." I said to him, "I'm sorry, but I won't be able to help you." He said, "Are you telling me I don't have a case?" I said, "No, not at all. All I'm telling you is that I don't take on cases, I will not take on matters that do not have a physical injury." He said, "Why not?" And he got very upset and very defensive with me. I said, there are some attorneys in New York who will take cases that have only emotional damage. The big problem, the big challenge with taking on a case like that is that most of these cases, most of the injured patients have some sort of emotional baggage that they bring with them. And now it's very difficult, it's very challenging to separate out what was there before and what is there now. How has the wrongdoing affected them and caused them further harm and injury? That's why personally I will not touch any cases that do not have a physical component to them. There are attorneys who will do that. So the mere fact that I told him that I don't take that type of case, he thought he didn't have a case. I said, "No, I'm not passing any judgment at all on whether you do or don't have a case. I'm just telling you it's not the right case for me." So why do I share this quick story with you? I share it with you just to give you an inside look at what goes on when somebody picks up the phone to call to see if they have a valid medical malpractice case here in New York. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, @oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.